Last week we received a call about a young eagle that was down on the ground. It had been there for at least 4 days. In the photo she sent us, he looked really rough. So we packed our kayaks and headed down to Mitchell Lake in Kirkfield, Ontario, to see what we could see. What we found was a youngster sitting on a mound. We just wanted to assess the situation today, as we could always come back tomorrow if he needed rescuing. We saw him calling out, but it was very weak. We wondered what he had been eating. As we approached him, he waddled off into the water. Maybe he was eating earthworms. Maybe fish. Hey buddy, what's going on with you? We took a closer look around the area where he was, and what we found was upchuck pellets made out of grass with a tiny piece of vertebrae in there. Not very much to sustain him.
Well, there we go. Right,
there's his mom. Look. And that's his sibling up in the tree branch. He looks healthy. He sounds weak.
Geez, they're up there.
Yeah, he's begging now.
Yeah. Even when he walked, I didn't see him.
I saw him follow for a little bit, like he tumbled forward.
Okay.
So that could be he's just not steady on his feet yet, like walking through all this grasses, or he's getting weak. Now the problem with birds is they always want to look the best they possibly can, right? Mm-hmm. When they know somebody's watching them. Waiting for Mom, I hope.
We had left him in.
And the other guy up at the tree hasn't said a peep.
No, you'd never know that he was there.
And yet he's calling to him, eh?
Oh yeah, he's looking right at him.
Hoping Mom comes.
Yeah, that silhouette in the sky.
Oh, so sad. Guy, our volunteer MacGyver, rigged up a floating tote that we could haul behind the kayak. We were shocked to see how much he had deteriorated overnight. He needed to be rescued right away. We also found out today that he had been grounded there for over 3 weeks. Not good.
No.
No struggle.
No, nothing, I know. I don't even know if he'll make it home.
We were so grateful to the Evans family for giving him a lift back to the shore.
Maybe we should put it in the box.
I'm so glad we can help, because we were just speaking about that. And that's just karma.
He was so incredibly weak. He couldn't even hold his head up. I was so worried he was going to die before I even had a chance to give him some critical care nutrients and fluids. He just had no strength whatsoever. For 2 days and nights, he had me on pins and needles. Every time I opened up the cage door, I thought he was dead. But I wouldn't give up on him. I tube fed him around the clock, every couple of hours, alternating fluids and a little bit of food. Very easy to digest, and then fluids again. and he was starting to get a little bit of strength back. He had a tiny bit of fight in him. And then on the third day, he was able to hold his head upright, and he actually moved around. I was in my glory. And then he was standing again. And then on day 4, his talons clenched up. It's almost like his feet were seized. He couldn't spread them open, so we decided to put shoes on him just to relax his talons, relax his feet, and hopefully he'd be able to stand better. He was so starved. It was probably from the starvation, like big Charlie horses in your feet. His keel, his breastbone area, was sticking out by almost an inch. That was severe. But he's looking brighter, and we were happy for him. I didn't have to tube feed him anymore. He was able to stand now and was taking fish from tweezers. Boy, his appetite was sure growing, and we were really ecstatic now. Oh, don't like that one? How about this one? Okay. Yum. Taking the shoes off his feet, we wanted to see how they were improving. Give him a little room to flap around. He was still very weak, but a little bit of exercise is always a good thing. And right after, let's have a little meal. Slowly but surely, he's eating on his own. Little bits at a time, but he's got all day to do it. But his talons still worried us. They remained curled, and he had a hard time with them. He was still having difficulty balancing. And so shoes number 2 went on. This time we made them a little softer, and hopefully he would be able to stand better on them. And he was. He was standing really well on them, getting around the cage, but I don't think he liked them very much, because when we looked in on him the next morning, they were off. He had torn them off. You go, my buddy. You put up a good fight and you're gonna be all right.